Hello, everyone. We are in Vivec at the Hlaalu Alchemist in the Hlaalu Canton. We'll be beginning Hlaalu Hortator. No, that was not what I wanted, but okay. So, I need the Hlaalu. Huh. Map's not that great. What's going on here? Ah, okay. We're just gonna port straight to some of these guys, especially for Hlaalu, because I mean not for
Is there something you
Telvanni,
need?
because with the addition, they have added about 10 extra people to talk to.
Is
So
there
we're going to
something I
speak
can do
to
for you?
Cassie. Yeah.
What do you think of our city, Outlander?
There we go. Gracius Curio, who is, yeah.
Well, if you are the Nerevarine, why haven't you fulfilled the prophecies? Surely you haven't forgotten. You haven't done something foolish, have you? You mustn't be shy, Dumpling. I've heard that Archcanon Tholer Sarioni, the High Priest of the Temple, is very upset, and that he is hoping that you will come speak with him at the High Fane here in Vivec City. Maybe that would be a good idea, don't you think? A Hortator is a great house war leader. It's an ancient tradition, seldom invoked in modern times.
I think I should be Hortator because I didn't kill him for calling me Dumpling. Tell your story and ask to be as confirmed as Hortator.
You want to be Hortator? A pity. Orvus Dren does not want you to be Hortator, and very few counselors would be willing to risk Ser Dren's disapproval. But your eloquent passion, your exquisite vulnerability moves me to risk all and defy Orvus Dren. Yes, sweetie, I will name you Hortator, but I have something to ask of you. Will you give me a kiss?
Oh, all right.
How tender and thoughtful. You've made me the happiest fellow in Vivec. And now, Pumpkin, it's time for your gift. And I have just what you want. In my formal capacity as Counselor of House Hlaalu, I give you my vote for the title of Hortator. Perhaps I can also give you a little suggestion? I am sure you can persuade Drambero to support you as Hortator, if you can find him. Orvas Dren has Nevena Yules and Valanda Omani in his pocket. You might want to make a little trip to the Dren plantation before talking to them. And then there's Ingling Half-Troll. Drambero is very secretive. He lives somewhere here in Vivec. Ingling Half-Troll is a foreigner like me, but he simply doesn't understand the Dunmer like I do. If you were to dispose of him, the other counselors would not be upset. If you kill any of the rest of us, of course, it is a different story. He lives in Ingling Manor in the St. Olms Canton. Counselor Valanda Omani lives outside Vivec, on Elmas Island. Take the bridge to the mainland from Telvanni compound. Then she lives in Yule's Manor near Suran. Just take the road north out of Suran, cross the bridge heading west, and look for a manor south of the road.
Okay, so we already spoke to Drambero at the beginning with the, let's see. All right. Okay. Oh, the tracking's off for this. All right. Oh, no, Hlaalu Hortator. Okay, I'm going to be porting to these guys. So we will speak to Orvas Dren first. I genuinely don't recall if we did his prior quest or not in this playthrough, but we may have spoken to him.
Do you have something to say, Outlander?
Do you want something? What do you want? So you want to be Hortator of House Hlaalu, and you've come to me. You show unusual wisdom for an Outlander. But what's the title of Hortator worth to you? Why do you want to be Hortator?
Okay, so he is Morag Tong. I am going to say... So, he's Hlaalu, so you don't want to protect it from the Empire, because they are aligned with the Empire. To defeat Dagoth and bring peace, I'm going to tell my story and ask to be confirmed.
Too. That's the worst story I've ever heard. What makes you think I care about these prophecies? If you're the chosen one, why do you have to come to me? Why aren't you Hortator already, eh? I believe you have wasted enough of my time. Goodbye. It is truly a pleasure to see you. So you want to be Hortator of House
Peace to Morrowind.
You want peace? Like the peace of the grave we've had
wow.
since the Tribunal betrayed us and signed the armistice? Dagoth has made me a better offer.
Oh, wow.
The 6th House will rise again and crush the Empire and those smug hypocrites in the Tribunal. But enough talk. I know you now as my enemy, and you must die with the rest of the foreign devils.
Okay. Well, I'm not sorry to kill this guy. I like this weapon because it staggers. It's nice. Let's get his key. Resdin's Rise. Yeah, I think I'll take that. Ooh, he's got a paralyzed ring. Good thing I'm immune to paralyze, isn't it? That didn't happen last time I did that. Okay. But I'm not sorry. Let's see how the rest of this goes. That's unusual. Okay. So... Orvas Dread is dead. Let's go to Drambarrow. Oh. No. Okay. So we've gone to Crassius. We just killed Orvas. Let's go to Bleda Omani. I did not know he was 6th house. That's not what happened last time. But that's cool.
Go ahead, Outlander. What do you need? Is there something I can do for you?
Go ahead, Outlander.
Is
What
there
do you
something
need?
I can do for you? What are you doing here? Yes, Outlander. I've just heard of Orvas Dren's unfortunate death. As for your request to be named Hortator of House Hlaalu, I believe there'll be no further delays. You have my vote, and I'm sure you'll be able to persuade the other councillors as well. Once all the councillors agree, speak with Crassius Curio again. He will give you the belt of the Hortator.
Yeah, it may have been that I chose to talk about the Empire last time. Who knows? But it may have also been House Hlaalu at the time. I don't know. It all kind of melds together. Okay, so you are Valenda Omani. I think the hard part's done. Okay, Valenda Nileno Dorvain. This is in Balmora. I don't know what's going to happen with Ingling Half
Yes, Outlander, what may I do for you? What business brings you here today?
Now, remember, in the beginning, we avenged a death of a House Hlaalu here, so she should like me.
The Hlaalu councillors have conferred upon me the great honor of interviewing those who wish to become members of our illustrious house.
Oh, she
Do
may
you
not
want
be
to
it.
join House Hlaalu?
Looks like it's down.
Yes, Dunmer?
No,
What do you
up.
want?
It's... Huh.
You flatter me with your... What business brings you here today?
I think he lives somewhere in Vivec.
No, maybe I was, maybe you just speak to her. I'm not sure. She's not going to speak to me about this. Okay. Navina Ulus. In her little house in the middle of nowhere.
May I help you?
Well, if you've come all this way, I suppose you can ask a few questions. Oh, yes, you want to be Hortator. Sure, I think that's a very good idea. You'll be a very special Hortator. Is that okay? Do I need to say anything official? Here, how about, in the name of House Hlaalu, I hereby say you are a Hortator. Of this house, House Hlaalu. I hope that's right. Once all the counselors agree, make sure you see Crassius Curio.
Okay. Yeah, she's a little anxious. And it hasn't cost me a penny. Okay, Drum Barrow is in St. Olms. We saw him at the beginning, and he is the gentleman from whom my beloved Daedric Bow came from.
May you find me worthy of your attention.
There we go.
Is there something you need? So you found me again? Easier than the first time, no? What are you here to discuss? A Hortator is the leader of a great house in times of war.
Tell your story and ask to be confirmed as Hortator.
You have found me, and that means you are resourceful. Yes, I will vote for you as Hortator, but my vote alone means nothing. Ingling is a fool. You may bribe him or kill him. Crassius Curio is a man of passion and can be manipulated. But Valanda and Nevena are Orvus Dren's creatures, and they will do nothing without his approval.
Okay, so Ingling. Okay, St. Olms Ingling Manor. Okay.
Strength is a virtue, friend.
Head on.
Welcome. From where do you hail? Adventure lies beyond the cities, friend. Adventure lies beyond.
May the wind
cities,
be on
friend.
your back. What's your story? Welcome to Vivec. I'm Ingling Half-Troll. Are you looking for services in the sacred city? Maybe I can help. A Hortator is a war leader for a great house. Why?
Yes. Tell your story and ask to be confirmed as Hortator.
That's a touching story. But if you don't have 2,000 drakes, you won't get my vote.
Give them 2,000 drakes.
A pleasure doing business with you. And I'm a man of my word. You got my vote for the office of Hortator of House Hlaalu. Once you get everyone's vote, talk to Crassius Curio.
Okay, I will check, but I think that's it. Okay, back to Hlaalu.
May I interest you in something?
Okay. Dren, Mileno. Yep, should all be done. So I know where these guys are when I played House Hlaalu. These were
Is
all
there
the quest
something I can do
givers,
for you?
so it's easier
Is
for me
there
to find
something
them.
I can do for you? Yes, Outlander. What do
I
you
mean,
want?
I still get lost sometimes, but
I'm so glad to see you again.
he's gross. Saving the world, saving the world, saving the world.
All the counselors agree? Splendid! I'm so happy for you. What an honor. But no more than you deserve, Pumpkin. And now, I have a little treat for you. It's a belt given to the Hortator of House Hlaalu. Just snug it around that supple little waist.
Ew.
Now, I know you have important things to do, but don't be a stranger. Don't neglect poor, lonely Uncle Crassius, your devoted admirer.
You're gross. I'm leaving. Didn't say that out loud. Okay, so that's actually a fairly reasonable request in terms of what you have to do to be confirmed. This one, not so much. Let me see if I can find it. Miscellaneous. Somewhere in here is... towns. He might be in Telvos. Let me see. Telvos, yes. Telvos Services Tower. Okay, we're gonna go speak to the most reasonable member of House Hlaalu first.
Outlander.
Sorry, we're gonna go speak to the most reasonable Telvanni. He is in Telvos, and if you go through the Telvanni line, you end up dealing most with him. Okay. I'm just gonna go outside and fly there. And then I'm also gonna mark in his chamber. He is just like Crassius or the Redoran leader. He is person most consulted. So find him and then mind here. And then we have to go visit like a ridiculous number of not there. A ridiculous number of counselors.
Go complain elsewhere, Dunmer.
Ow. Okay, here he is. So we're gonna mark here. No, put your bow away, baby. Don't need your bow. Okay.
There's no time for talk now. Go. I have heard of you, yes. You are the Outlander who wishes to be the Telvanni Hortator. A Hortator is a special champion and war leader chosen to lead a great house in war. Why do you ask?
Tell your story and ask to be confirmed as Hortator. So, this is the modded content. Yes, I understand. You're willing to take the responsibility, and I'm willing to vote for you as Hortator. I think most of the other Telvanni counselors will also cooperate, though some might need a little persuading. Master Neloth is ill-tempered, and Mistress Thorana is losing her mind. You are not a male, so Mistress Dratha will like you. Archmagister Gothrin is another problem. He will not refuse you directly, but will delay indefinitely. I recommend that you kill Archmagister Gothrin. Mr. Thrathra and Master Varen will also be an issue, given your ties with the Empire and the Temple. Yes, they may seem less directly concerned, but you will still need the votes of the mainland Telvanni counselors. Mistress Varuna and Master Mistress are not involved in political matters. Mistress Eldale is new to the council, which makes her less predictable. Archmagister Drow isn't known to be in the Mundus, so you'll have to convince his mouth. Okay, So I really hope there are markers. I'm pretty sure there were markers last time. Alright. So we're going to start at this bottom of this list. Look at this. And head up. We're going to go... Varen. Most of them will say yes.
Well,
Right away.
What is it now?
But, some of them are a problem. Yeah, Master Varen. We'll find him at the top of the tower within his chamber. Okay. So the biggest issue is the one you need to kill, Gothrin. This could be a little fiddly. And the entire tower can attack you. Okay.
so you want something?
I'm Master Varen, Telvanni Counselor and Lord of Telvarin and Alt Masara. What do you come here for? Telvanni Hortator. War leader, Nerevar reincarnated. You, a pawn of the temple, your princes. Your priests couldn't be happy about that, could they? Pawn? Or is this all their own plotting? No, I will not vote for you. Oh. Okay. I'm afraid these guys, I have to kill them. Let me double check because I don't want to go through the whole thing and then find out I screwed up the first one. But the thing about Telvanni is they all accept murder as part of the promotion process. So let me see. And since it's modded, I really do want to look it up because sometimes it can get really buggy. Okay, so unfortunately this is very often buggy. Lots of people have complained. I had the same issue last time I played. I'm gonna try to infuriate him.
There is no escape.
There you go. Chain stun's good. Okay. Glass staff of peace. I think last time I wore some of these robes or hats, but at this point I'm not going to steal their clothes. Okay, one down. So you have to kill, like, 2 of them. That went about as well as it could. Okay. Mistress Thorana. Okay, so take in the spectacle here.
Why
What
do
was
you
that?
Outlanders
We have a
think you can
Khajiit in a
bother anyone you
loincloth.
please?
And there's just, I mean, there's like stuff everywhere. So if you do, part of the reason why I, with this character, did not want to do the Telvanni quest is Mistress Thorana. She's completely crazy. And although that can be amusing, there's a quest where you have to bring
I
her new
heard something.
clothes. And when you bring her the new clothes, if you she says, please try it on so I know what it looks like, and then she kills you, or tries to kill you. And what you have to do is convince that Khajiit over there to wear the clothes, and then she kills the Khajiit. So I don't really want to know what's going on here. I don't want any more exposure to it than I can. Once is enough. So here we go.
What are you here for? Are you here to feed the spiders? It's a steel box, of course. You keep things like bittergreen roots in it, keeps them fresh with a little netch blood. Or is that a hormador? Yes, or spiders. In the box. Spider eggs, keeps them fresh with netch blood. You wouldn't have any with you, eh? Spider eggs? Nice fresh ones? So, go ahead. Show me the Hortator. Hormador? You got it with you? Always happy to get some fresh spider eggs. Or spiders? When I was a much younger, we grew our own spiders.
Listen politely.
In Hormadors. Big ones. Needed 'em big for the spiders. What? Spiders? You listening? Spiders. That's what I said. Big ones. So you need a big Hortator. Ours was steel with silver plating. Kirjo used to polish it. Cute little kitty. Had it since it was a bitty kitty. Gone now, of course. Dropped dead. They get old and you have to get new ones. Never quite as good as the old ones, of course, but what can you do? Oh, there you are, Outlander. What was your name again? Are you listening to me?
Continue to listen to politely. Mistress Thorana continues to chatter amiably with no sign of stopping. She looks like she could go on forever. Stubbornly, continue to listen politely. Yes, indeed, sustained as she is by the necromantic arts, it may be that she can, in fact, go on forever, chatting amiably without stopping, ever. Tell your story and ask to be confirmed as Hortator.
What? Oh, you want to be a Hortator? Certainly. Go right ahead, whatever you like. I don't mind. What were we talking about?
Telvanni, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Mistress Thorana, Rilvin Dral.
Keep moving, scum.
Why do you
Wow.
Outlanders think you can bother anyone you please?
Quest started? Okay, come on. Archmagister Dral cannot be found. Okay. Raven O'Main. So, essentially, these are the mouths of several of the Hortators. Several of the counselors. And you talk to them, and some of them will confirm you.
Leave me.
And some of them won't.
I am Raven O'Main, mouth of Mistress Dratha. That's a title given to a special champion and war leader among the great houses. Why?
Tell your story and ask to be confirmed as Hortator.
Good grief. We've heard talk about a reborn Nerevar for years, and thought it was just Ashlander superstition. And it sounds like a crisis is coming with Dagoth-Ur and the 6th house. You'll have to speak directly to Mistress Dratha about this. She lives in Telmora, a tower north along the coast. You should be able to find a ship at the docks to take you there for a pittance.
I am Malum Ryan, the mouth of Archmagister Gothran. A Hortator is a special champion and war leader among the great houses. House Telvanni would unite under a Telvanni Hortator when faced with a war. Well, in theory.
Tell your story and ask to be confirmed as Hortator.
You'll have to speak directly to Master Gothran about this, and right away. His tower, Tel Arun, lies just northwest of Sadrith Mora. You'll need to water walk, or fly. You can do that, can't you?
Walk with virtue, Outland.
What are you here for? Do you have a question? Perhaps you wish to join
Telvanni
House
Hortator.
Telvanni. That's a title given to a special
Tell
champion
your
and
story
war
and
leader
ask to
among
be
the great
confirmed as
houses.
Hortator.
Why? I see. Well, it sounds important. You'll have to speak directly to Master Neloth about this. Tel Naga, Master Neloth's tower, is right in the center of Sadrith Mora.
Walk with virtue, Outlander. What are you here for? Do you have a question? Perhaps you wish to join House Telvanni.
Telvanni Hortator.
That's the traditional title
Yes,
given
tell
to a
your
special
story and ask to
champion
be
and war
confirmed
leader
as
among the great.
Hortator.
That's not a pleasant story, and it means trouble is coming for all the great houses. I'm afraid you'll have to speak directly to Master Arian on a matter of such importance. His tower, Telvos, is north along the coast. You can probably get a ship to Telmora, then water walk west to Voss Village in Telvos.
Okay. So I've spoken to the mouths here. Okay. No. Hotel Wannives. Neville Almain. This looks like the other big chamber with the overseas mouths. It's cool. I like purple crystals. I'm just really, really annoyed by this quest.
Leave me.
Okay, Telvanni Hortator. You are Hortator of House Telvanni. Okay. I remember she does that. She's not helpful.
So, you want something?
Tell your story and ask to be confirmed as Hortator. You'll have to speak directly to Mistress Eldale about this. Her tower, Teldaris, is just north of Fort Telvannis. You can take a river strider or simply fly there. Isn't this fun? Aren't you so glad that they
Why
added
do you Outlanders think you can bother
so
anyone
much
you
more
please?
paperwork to this? It's so exciting. Tell your story. You'll have to speak directly to Mistress Faruna in her tower Tel Orin, southeast of Firewatch.
Well,
Your story is concerning. You would normally have to speak to Lord Drow on a matter of such importance, but getting to him is challenging, to say the least. Very well. Process is as unpleasant to me as the interruption is to him, but I will bid for his attention. After a long while, Malvis Relvani's mouth opens and silently outlines a few words. I see. I have consulted with Lord Drow. Lord Drow's vote is cast in your favor. Yes, you must be named Hortator of House Telvanni. Yeah, there's something going on there, and I'm not in House Telvanni, and I don't want to be in House Telvanni,
there's no
so I
time
don't
for
know.
talk now.
But I'm sure
Go.
the he is not him. Okay. Telvanni Hortator.
She's a hard woman, all right.
We've heard talk about a reborn Nerevar for years. Thought it was just Ashlander superstition. And it sounds like a crisis is coming with Dagoth Ur in the 6th house. You'll have to speak directly to Mistress Rothra about this. She lives in Telwada. Okay. And we're back to the lady who
You
says,
flatter
I
me with
am
your attention,
Hortator.
Outlander.
Yep. Okay. So, it's less confusing to me than it was the first time. Okay. Under Baron Tharana Rathra. There will remain. Okay, let's go. Okay, we've been to the ones in the chambers. We're gonna go to the ones in blue now. Mistress Rothra. Or Mr. Rothra. I don't know. I don't recall.
Oh, come on, leave me alone.
I wish I could. I've heard your story. Your arguments are sound. You have the abilities required of a war leader. Very well, I consent to it. I will vote for you. Okay. You are okay. You are Rothra. All right. So we have done Tharana, Rothra. Spoke to Neville. Let's go to Neloth next. Neloth is a character in Skyrim, and I was really excited to meet him here because the character in Skyrim is amazing.
I can
But
already tell I'm not going to like
he's really
this.
boring.
Keep
Need
moving,
I call the
scum.
guard? Whatever you want. The answer is no. Hortator, war leader of House Telvanni. Is that necessary? Why doesn't anyone tell me about these things? So, do you want the job? Are you qualified? Good. Then go ahead. I don't care. Be the Hortator. Now go away.
I was bummed. That's all I got. Okay. Alright, Neloth Mithras.
Talk is cheap.
Look, I'm running Runyon Rune and the mine. If I run out of time, the mine will run out of business, and Runyon Rune will run out of life. As you can surely understand, we're running on a tight schedule, so unless you aren't here to waste my time aimlessly, I suggest that you leave. I understand, your intent is clear, and you seem capable. I will vote for you to be Hortator. Okay, you are Mithras. Alright. Malvas Relvani, he's in the chambers, so we've already spoken to them. Gothrin. This one's a little bit fiddly because he's hard to make angry. And I can make people angry. And
You
last
flatter
time
me with your attention, Outlander.
I attacked him and everybody in the entire tower attacked me back. So, we're gonna do this. Well, I'm gonna get there first. And then Goldie and Dren are gonna be my bestest buddies. Okay, so as you see, we've already got 2 Drumora here. So this can be a tough fight. I'm
Find
not sure
someone
how
else to
tough it's
bother.
going to be right now. Alright. I think last time I had trouble provoking him, and then some trouble killing him, but we'll see how it goes. No, I'm not wearing the thong.
What do you want?
Telvanni Hortator.
Yes, I know what a Hortator is.
Tell your story.
Wait, let me think. Yes, I understand perfectly. Your story makes sense. Your proofs are persuasive. But a decision on such a remarkable matter is a grave responsibility, and not to be taken in haste. I will need some time to reflect and consider, and to confer with the other Telvanni counselors. Leave me.
So I think if I just
I am
ask
still
him
taking the matter of you
over and
very
over.
well. I have heard your story. And you are not one of... I have not changed my mind. I do not intend for you... Very well, I have heard your story. And you are not one of us, so I suppose I'll have to explain. Or you'll just keep annoying me. I have no intention of naming you Hortator of House Telvanni. It is not in Telvanni interest to name an unknown and unreliable outlander, an outsider to such an important position. My opinion will not change. If you persist in bothering me, you will regret it. This discussion is over. I have not changed
there
my
yet?
mind.
Are we there
Very
yet?
well, I have heard your story.
Are we
I have
there
not
yet?
changed my mind. Very well, I have heard your story. I have not changed my mind. Very well, I
Are we
have
there yet?
heard your... I have not changed my mind. I do not... Very well, I have heard
Oh,
your
okay,
story. And you are not one of us, so I suppose I'll have to explain.
See?
Or you'll just keep annoying me. I have no intention of naming you Hortator of House Telvanni. It is not in Telvanni interest to name an unknown... I have not changed my mind. I do not intend for you to... Very well, I have heard your story.
Okay.
And you are not one of us, so I suppose I'll have to explain.
Let's see how
Or
it
you'll just
goes.
keep annoying me. I have no intention of naming you Hortator of House Telvanni. It is not in Telvanni interest to name an unknown and unreliable outlander, an outsider to such an important
Yeah, I have to
position.
cast it again.
My opinion will not change. If you persist in bothering me, you will regret it. This discussion is over.
Okay, this time I do have a calm spell. So I'm going to cast it. Oh, no, 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 lady. No, 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 no. Okay, we're done. That's okay. You don't have to do any more. Okay, I think I minimized collateral damage. Let me see if they all try to attack me.
This is the end of you,
Yeah, sure. They sure will. Okay. Come on. Come on, ma'am. We don't need this. Everything's fine. Telvanni Archmagister Robe. Daedric Dagger. Gothrin's Amygdala. Cast once. Damage fatigue 50 points, 1 second on target. Okay, that's unusual. I want an amygdala. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna name this one Gothrin, just in case. I need to come back to this part and, I don't know, resurrect him or something. Okay. Telvanni. Okay. Gothrin Faruna.
What is it now?
I understand you have my vote. Is that all? Yes, thank you for being reasonable. Not making me kill you. Runa. Okay. And our Drenim Telnaga Upper Tower. So when I did this the first time, of course,
I can already tell I'm not going to like this.
then get out of my way. When I did this,
Keep moving, scum.
I couldn't figure it out.
May you find me worthy of your
Oh, okay,
attention.
that's Neloth again. And our Drenin. Okay, I'm not seeing them. I'll go to Eldale. So it is jarring to hear the keep moving scum right on top of I'm so happy to see you. What a pleasure. Okay. Up. There's no up there.
Well,
Oh, come on. Okay, he's on this level. There we go.
If you don't leave now, you will wish you had.
Who allowed you in here? Didn't you speak with Ulrun? Never mind. Shh. Now that you're here, you have 5 minutes of my time to present your matter, receive my response, and leave. You make a good case. I have no interest in ancient native conflicts, but these events endanger the house. I will vote for you. Okay. Validas. Oh. Okay. I should be bound right there. He is the gentleman in Nisus who helped us translate Dwemer texts.
What brings you here? If you have the votes of all surviving Telvanni councilors, then you are the Hortator of House Telvanni. And do you know about the robe of the Hortator? If not, you should speak with Master Arion. It's a clan heirloom created for the Hortator. It goes with your office. You are Hortator of House Telvanni.
Okay. I'll be really impressed if I actually did this the first time without having to go backtrack to every single one on the list. Let's see.
What are you gawking at? What brings the Telvanni Hortator here? I see you've gathered the votes of all the surviving Telvanni councilors.
I'm impressed.
That means you are now the Hortator of House Telvanni. And I have something for you. It's called the Robe of the Hortator. It is an ancient artifact and hasn't been used in centuries, but I think you'll be pleased. I wish you luck, Hortator. I may even pray for you.
He's a good guy. I like Master Arion. Okay. Let's see the Robe of the Hortator. Cast when used, fortify magic at 20 points. Wow. I'm happy about that. It's much easier with the quest map. It was not working last time, and I had to do a lot more than that. Okay. So, Hortator and Nerevarine. Now, at this point, yeah, I need to go speak with Danso Indulis. Alright, I have been to Vivec. He's in a locked room. Let me see how to go about this. If I go to the High Fane and I speak to the young lady there, I might be okay. I don't want to have to murder a lot of ordinators, even though I wouldn't be sorry either. But it might impede my goals. Vivec, High Fane. So I'm going to go to the outside here. Oh, no, I'm inside. And there are... So, I think you have to actually
What's she doing
pick
here?
the lock. I'm not speaking to the ordinator. Okay, here we go. I'm going to save, just in case he makes me kill him.
Faith, law, and justice, dear. Walk on. No foul deed goes unpunished. No wickedness goes unseen.
That sounds like the soundtrack to Wicked. Except it's no good deed goes unpunished. Which in this case really does apply to me, huh? Okay. Okay, Hortator and Nerevarine. Alright, I was supposed to speak to... Okay.
Faith, law, and justice, dear. Walk on.
Okay, faith...
Faith conquers all. Have faith in the law.
Law...
Theft, trespass, assault, foul murder, and contempt are serious crimes. Criminals must pay compensation or serve sentences of punitive labor.
Thank you, I still love your voice. Okay, she should be able to
Welcome, friend. Are you the one I've heard
Quickly, did you want to meet the Archcanon?
Yes.
The Archcanon is in his private quarters, and he very much wishes to speak with you. But I am to warn you, avoid confrontations with the Ordinators at all costs. The Archcanon has spoken with the High Fane Ordinators, but if you are a wanted criminal, they may try to arrest you. If the blood of faithful servants of the temple is spilled, it will make a reconciliation all that much more difficult.
Okay, so he does have... They don't tell me how to get into his quarters, I think I have to pick the lock, which last time they're like, don't break the law. And I'm like, why would you? Okay.
We know your plan, Outlander. We know you plan to meet with the Archcanon in his private quarters, Outlander. We will be watching you carefully. Do not break the law, or we will take swift action.
You flatter
You
me.
honor me.
I think you have to pick the lock.
I am blessed
Which
to
is,
be
like,
at your
crazy.
service, Outlander.
You'd think they'd be like, here's the key. Okay. Does seem like the trappiest of traps, doesn't it? Okay. All right, let's see. What? Okay. This is just confusing. Am I levitating? No, I'm not. Okay. I can't stealth in here. This is crazy. You guys are out of your mind. Yeah, they're busy watching me. I specialize in stealth, and I am taking personal offense to this. Okay. How much? Yeah, it's chameleon 100%. Oh, what the hell? Alright, see if I can cast the Amulet of Shadows and if that helps. Nope, absolutely no good. What is happening here?
I'm so hungry. I could eat a rat.
So, stealthed, not stealthed. Ugh. Alright, Mm-mm. You know, if it were Skyrim, I could put buckets on their heads. Hmm. Hold on a moment, I'm gonna look something up. Okay, I just looked it up. Looks like I've been doing this
You
wrong.
honor me.
This is how we
Do you
learn.
wish to do business?
Looks like she will give you the key if you speak to her again, which...
Welcome. Quickly, Did you want to meet the Archcanon?
Avoid
There is a private
confrontations.
back entrance to Sarione's private
Sneak
quarters.
past.
Perhaps you might also sneak. Ordinators are highly trained, and
Private
sneaking.
quarters.
The Archcanon is waiting alone to speak with you in
Private
his
back
A door on the eastern
entrance.
canal side level leads through a smaller room and into Sarione's private quarters. But the door
Seriously?
is always locked, and the Ordinators control the keys.
Well, she's supposed to give me the key.
Quickly! Did you want to meet the Archcanon? The Archcanon is in his private quarters, and he very much wishes to speak with you. But I am to warn you, avoid confrontations with the Ordinators at all costs. The Archcanon has spoken with the High Fane Ordinators, but if you are a wanted criminal, they may try to arrest you. If the blood of faithful servants of the temple is spilled, it will make a reconciliation all that much more difficult.
Okay. I don't know what to do about that. I don't see that she gave me a key. I don't see that I have a key.
I am blessed to be at your service, Outlander. Faith, law, and justice, dear. Walk on. We are loyal to the Archcanon. Don't worry, we won't
Okay,
attack
so
you so long as you do not
I'll just try to pick the lock. Here we go. And then calm whoever attacks me.
Intruder!
I'm gonna pay my gold.
I accept this gold in payment of
Thank
the
you.
fines and compensation ordered by the court. And now you are free to go.
That's crazy. Oh, that's crazy. Okay.
Forget tomorrow. If you are right, act today.
That's what I'm trying to do, man, but you guys make it hard.
Thank you for coming. You know the temple's doctrine on the Nerevarine. Perhaps it is time to change that doctrine. The temple must protect the people from false doctrines, and your association with Imperial intelligence makes your motivations and integrity suspect. But you have been chosen, Hortator and Nerevarine, by the Dunmer people, and we have reached a crisis with Dagoth-Ur. We can no longer defend the people against the awakened Sixth House. You and your prophecies may represent our last hope. Our situation is desperate, but I would rather have you hear the details of our situation and the circumstances leading up to that situation from Lord Vivec himself. He has asked to see you. Would you agree to a private meeting with him and hear in person what he has to say?
Yes, I will meet with Vivec.
Good. Here are 2 keys. One to the private back entrance to my quarters, the other to a locked entrance to Lord Vivec's palace. I regret that at present the Ordinators are not completely under my control, so for now I'll ask you to avoid confrontations with them. Lord Vivec is expecting you. His lordship is remarkably patient, but perhaps it would be better not to keep him waiting.
Well, that's a bit of a surprise. And she's utterly ambivalent to it. Yet again, she imagines being struck down. But she's come this far. The weather looks almost like the same as the first day she arrived, flying over the city and being so amazed and excited that she could fly. She imagines she's an extraordinary tool at this point to anyone that can control her. And maybe from this point on, she'll belong to Vivec. He's a god. These guys in their glass armor look so cool. Alright. Well,
Must be going crazy, talking to myself like this.
she takes a deep breath. Opens the door. He doesn't say anything, no greeting. Just takes a moment to just look at him.
Ah, I expected you. We have business, you and I. When I was young like you, I was very impatient, so I will keep our business short. Then, later, there may be time for other things. First, I propose to remove my curse upon the Nerevarine and end the persecution of the dissident priests, and proclaim all of Morrowind that you are the incarnate and the Nerevarine, the prophesied savior of Morrowind, and the last hope to withstand the menace of Dagoth and the Sixth House. These things I will do, whether you wish or not. Next, I propose to surrender to you the power and responsibility of defeating Dagoth. You may choose to refuse. I will not compel you. You will receive the power as a gift, in the form of an artifact called Wraithguard. You may accept this gift, and then do with it as you will. You will receive the responsibility as an oath. You may give your oath, then keep it or break it as you like. First, will you accept Wraithguard as a gift?
Yes, I accept Wraithguard.
Good, sensible of you. And now will you give your oath before all gods and men, before all spirits visible and invisible, before my honor and your honor, to dedicate yourself and Wraithguard to the defeat and destruction of Dagoth and the preservation of Morrowind and its people?
Yes, I so swear.
Not very sensible, but very good. I was hoping for someone who would have no hesitation about making such an oath. You will now have a brief, momentary sensation of time passing. Do not be alarmed. You are being taken out of time in order to avoid the unpleasant experience of learning how to use Wraithguard. It will be over before you know it. Now, I will notify the temple that you are our champion. There shall be no more persecution of the dissident priests, and I hope both sides shall swiftly be reconciled. We have time for questions if you like, or you may leave as you wish. But I think there are at least two things you ought to know before you leave. How to use Wraithguard and how to defeat Dagoth.
So she is still ambivalent, although encouraged. What she sees is someone who is becoming powerless and is trying to pass on a mantle so he still has authority. He is so conciliatory and so willing to be the most ultimate of reasonable, but she remembers all the sermons of how this thing behaved when it had the most power. Now she sees its waning and fading and trying to look wise. Of Boethia. Secrets. So, Amalexia is the mother, and Sothasil is the magic caster, and he is the rogue, the liar, the charmer. So, what she knows now is that his time is past. If a god is sending her to do their job, they may still have some power, but they are no longer the god that built this city or wrote those sermons. They are worn down and they are tired.
Actually, I believe we've finished our business. I will notify the temple that you are our champion. There shall be no more persecution of the dissident priests, and I hope both sides shall swiftly be reconciled. Now, you are my guest, I am your host, and we have time for explanations, or counsel, or questions, or bitter recriminations, if you like. Or you may leave if you wish, as you wish. But I think, before you leave, you should hear how to defeat Dagoth and how you must use the artifact Wraithguard. You need to know, where is Dagoth? What are Dagoth plans? Who are Dagoth servants? Who is Dagoth What are Dagoth powers? What is known about Dagoth defenses? How can I prepare for battle against Dagoth Who can help? Dagoth-Ur is the former Lord High Counselor of House Dagoth. He was of Lord Nerevar's generation, older than we, and a mighty sorcerer and enchanted in life. In his sustained shadow immortality, he appears to be a highly intelligent, severely deluded immortal monster with unparalleled supernatural abilities. He appears by turns lucid and deranged, compassionate and bestial, profoundly wise and profoundly disordered. In short, he is a mad god. Confer with the Ordinators and Buoyant Armigers, garrisoning Ghostgate, for the latest information about the defenses of the citadels of Dagoth-Ur and his heart-white kin. We know nothing for sure, but we have learned much from interrogating Sixth House cultists and victims of dream compulsions, and from our study of Dagoth-Ur's actions. The Temple Scholars and Inquisitors have prepared a document, Dagoth-Ur's Plans, that summarizes what we know or suspect. Take this copy. It's also available in my library. He is able to send his mind into the dreams of susceptible victims across vast distances. The victims are either swayed by his compulsions or driven mad. He also seems nearly invulnerable to physical and magical harm. His flesh, and the flesh of his followers, evolves towards a mutable magical form. Dagoth-Ur and the highest ranks can control the distorted manifestations of their flesh. Lower ranks lose control of their bodies and become mindless corporous monsters. Chief among his servants are his 7 brothers, the ash vampires, powerful heart-whites and cunning sorcerers of old. These creatures appear to die, but always are revived at the heart. Somehow Dagoth-Ur has conferred some portion of his immortality upon them. Or perhaps they sustain themselves through more conventional sorcery. To defeat Dagoth-Ur, go to Red Mountain to recover the artifact hammer Sunder from Gate Citadel Veminal. Then recover the artifact blade Keening from Gate Citadel Odrozel. Then proceed with Wraithguard, Sunder, and Keening to the Citadel of Dagoth-Ur. Within the Citadel, find the Heart of Lorikhan. Use the 3 artifacts to sever Dagoth-Ur's connection to the heart, and he will be destroyed and the blight ended on Morrowind. To destroy Dagoth-Ur, you must sever his connection with the Heart of Lorikhan. To do this, strike the heart with the artifact hammer Sunder once, then strike the heart more than once with the artifact blade Keening. You must wear Wraithguard, because you cannot handle either Sunder or Keening unless you are wearing Wraithguard. That is the short, simple explanation. Here is the long, detailed explanation written down for your convenience. Read it, study it. Commit it to memory. I have given you a copy of my proposed plan. Read it, study it, commit it to memory. Dagoth-Ur's Plans summarizes what we know or suspect. You have a copy. It's also available in my library. You want to chide me. Why did I murder Nerevar? Why did I break my oath to Azura not to use Kagranak's tools? Why did I cause others to suffer? Lord Nerevar, and at his insistence, Almalexia, Sothasil, and I, swore before our god of oaths at the time, the Daedra Lord Azura, never to employ the tools of Kagranak for any purpose. We broke our oaths. We turned our backs on the old gods. I still see no compelling reason to worship any of the Aedra or Daedra. But for the respect I held for Nerevar, and the respect I held for myself, I should never have betrayed my oath. Of all my life's actions, I most regret that failure. Why did I cause others to suffer? I respect that question, and you for it. The most I can say is, I did the best I could as I saw things. Can you, mortal, presume to judge the actions and motives of a god? But because I need you, and you need me, I will make an accounting for my sins to you, but not now. Destroy Dagoth-Ur, and then we will discuss my sins. Then perhaps you will have earned the right to judge me. You want to know, why did I wage war on the Nerevarine? Why did I try to suppress the Apocrypha? Why did I persecute the dissident priests? Why is Dagoth-Ur winning this war? How does the Tribunal fight Dagoth-Ur? What are Wraithguard's powers? Dagoth-Ur is winning because he is close to the source of power, Lorikhan's heart, and because he retains the passion of madness while we have settled into the lonely and unrewarding posture of dogged dutifulness and perseverance. And finally, perhaps because he's stronger and smarter than we are, and his followers are more fervent and fanatical, I believe we were careless and complacent and outwitted, and in the matter of denying the Nerevarine, we were foolish. We did not murder Nerevar. The legend that we murdered Nerevar comes from a story told by a shield companion to Nerevar, Alandrosul, who lived among the Ashlanders. The Ashlanders have retained Alandrosul's account as part of their oral histories. The account is persuasive in some details, implausible in others, and is in any case false. I have 2 accounts of Nerevar's death here in my library. Read them and judge for yourself. I want your trust and willing cooperation, so I've had the priests make copies of a number of documents. They're here for you to read or take with you. Take a look at them. Help yourself. Suppression and persecution of dissent is just one of the standard tools of statecraft. I believe we erred in trusting the judgment of Beryl Sala. He and his ordinators served valiantly in the war against Dagoth-Ur. We mistook his misplaced zeal for energy and dedication. Mistakes were made, but no more. There shall be no more persecution of the dissident priests, and I hope both sides shall swiftly be reconciled. Prepare for war. Beyond the ghost fence, there are no safe places, no allies. Stockpile resources. Plan for retreat and replenishment. Quest for artifacts of power. You are curious. What really happened at Red Mountain? What really happened to the Dwemer? What was the Dwemer's sin? What is it like to be a god? Do I remember being mortal? How do I feel about the people of Morrowind? The sin of the Dwemer was the creation of a new god from the substance of a dead god, Lorikon. That is also the sin for which we would destroy Dagoth-Ur. I hesitate to call it sin. More properly, call it destructive evil. The sin of the tribunal, however, is in the breaking of an oath to Azura to forbear from tapping the heart with Kagranak's tools, and in the folly of seeking to become gods. Breaking the oath was evil. Becoming gods was folly. If we sinned, we have paid the price. I love the people of Morrowind. I became a god to make their lives more comfortable and secure. I am most close to my faithful followers. I am literally in their hearts and minds. I feel the most sympathy with House Redoran. They are Dunmer, driven by creeds and deeds like I am. House Indoril is closer to the compassion and sympathy of Almalexia, a comfortable and secure serenity. House Telvanni matches the disposition of my brother Sotha Sil, iconoclastic, profane, unconventional. House Hlaalu represents the future of the Dunmer, integrated into the sophisticated mainstream of the traditionless, raceless, godless culture of the Empire. House Drace represents the past of pre-tribunal great house culture, a persistent tradition of Daedra and ancestor-worshipping civilized Dunmer clans. And I even love the Ashlanders for their preservation of the most ancient barbarian tribal traditions of the Dunmer, who first settled Morrowind. In my library, I have made available 2 conflicting accounts of the events of Red Mountain, my own true account, and another false account common among the Ashlanders and preserved in the Apocrypha. I don't care whether you believe my account or not. I leave it up to you to judge which is true. I remember. I do not feel it. I can, if I choose, remember the feeling, but I do not choose. It is very, very sad being mortal. There is happiness, yes, but mostly sadness. As I have said, count only the happy hours. For mortals, they are all too few. But for gods, for me, there is no more feeling, only knowing. Not quite no more feeling. I still want to win. I want to defeat Dagoth-Ur. Perhaps I have lost the feeling for the people, for their suffering. I don't want that feeling. It is no use to me. That is no longer what matters to me. I only want not to lose. To lose would be very, very bitter. Why did I suppress the Apocrypha? Because it was such an unfortunate mixture of truth, falsehood, and speculation that I couldn't afford to manage the confused reaction of our faithful. Any doubt whatsoever weakened their faith, and we needed their faith to give us the power to maintain the ghost fence. In retrospect, perhaps we lost the faith of those we most needed while preserving the faith of the meek and indifferent. Perhaps a mistake was made. Who can say? I have no idea what happened to the Dwemer. I have no sense of them in the timeless divine world outside of mortal time, and in fact, if I did believe they existed, I would be in no hurry to make contact with them. They may with some justice hold the Dunmer race responsible for their fate. My intuition is that they are gone forever, and that is perfectly fine with me.
When you ask to be a god, it is like being a juggler. Things are always moving, and you learn to know where they are without even thinking about it. Only there are many, many things moving, and sometimes, like any juggler, you drop something. I'm afraid it has become a lot more a matter of dropping things lately. There's too much to do and not enough time, and I'm losing my touch. Perhaps I'm growing old.
It is a bit like being at once awake and asleep. Awake, I am here with you, thinking and talking. Asleep, I am very, very busy. Perhaps for other gods, the completely immortal ones, it is only like that being asleep, out of time. Me, I exist at once inside of time and outside of it. It's nice never being dead, too. When I die in the world of time, then I'm completely asleep. I'm very much aware that all I have to do is choose to wake, and I'm alive again. Many times I have very deliberately tried to wait patiently a very long, long time before choosing to wake up. And no matter how long it feels like I wait, it always appears when I wake up that no time has passed at all. That is the God place. The place out of time where everything is always happening all at once. In the past, the tribunal made seasonal campaigns to Red Mountain. We slew Dagathor and his kin, though the heart always revived them in time. Later, when we realized we couldn't destroy them, we created the ghost fence to contain the threat. These solutions were effective until Dagathor ambushed us and captured Sunder and Keening. Since that time, our fortunes have waned as his increased. Why did I try to kill you? Because you threatened the faith of my followers, and I needed their faith to hold back the darkness, and I thought you were my enemy. A pawn of the subtle Daedra Lord Azura, or a pawn of Emperor Uriel Septim, or a simple fraud. Perhaps a hero, but not much of one if my faithful could destroy you. Now circumstances are altered. I need you, and you need me. Dagoth-Ur has never ventured out of the Heart Chamber, the place under Red Mountain where the heart of Lorcan lies. It is there or nearby that he is constructing a new god, Akulakan, also known as Second Numidium. Ordinators and buoyant armigers stationed at Ghost Gate have the most practical knowledge of the nightmare world inside the Ghost Fence. Seek them in my name for counsel and aid. Wraithguard's primary function is to protect the wearer from the fatal energies of the artifacts Sunder and Keening. It also has minor protective enchantments against physical and magical damage that you may find useful.
Her impression has not changed. He's entirely reasonable and entirely conciliatory, and not speaking the way he did to the original Hortator, where he went out of his way to be obscure while trying to look as though his authority was absolutely necessary in all things. She sees a dying god. But she sees a dying god that is handing her the tools that could actually kill Dagoth-Ur. He can't wield them himself, which means he's weaker than she is. That's sobering, but she has done quite a lot in her time. And she's not a god, because she would have to choose to be a god to be one. He chose. She will not make that mistake. She doesn't want this sitting in a room alone, trying to pass by time and not wake up. It's horrifying. She thanks him politely with a dutiful face. A face she learned as a young Ashlander orphan. Because he's given her quite a lot, and she doesn't want anything else of his. She will take the books. Of course, she always takes the books. She's read the changed ones. Plans to defeat Dagothar. For the past 20 years, the Tribunal have tried unsuccessfully to execute this plan. However, we failed because we were required to stage an assault and simultaneously maintain the Ghost Fence to prevent the threatened large-scale breakout of Dagothar's blighted hosts. With the Nerevarine leading the assault and the Tribunal free to devote their full energies to maintaining the Ghost Fence, this plan has a greater chance of success. Unfortunately, however, the loss of the artifacts Sunder and Keening and the recent increase in Dagothar's strength pose new problems for the execution of the plan. Therefore, our proposed plan has the following 5 phases. A series of aggressive raids to scour inside the Ghost Fence. A series of aggressive raids to neutralize Dagothar's Ash Vampire kin and recover artifacts from the bodies of his kin. An assault of Gate Citadel Veminal to neutralize Dagoth Vemin and recover the artifact hammer Sunder. An assault of Gate Citadel Odrasal to neutralize Dagoth Odros and recover the artifact blade Keening. An assault on Citadel Dagoth with the artifacts Wraithguard, Sunder, and Keening to sever Dagothar's connection to the heart of Lorkhan, and thus destroy Dagothar. Phase 1. Raids inside the Ghost Fence. The Tribunal, Ordinators, and Buoyant Armigers are familiar with the terrain and will provide maps and current intelligence reports. The region inside the Ghost Fence is dangerous, and the Nerevarine will need to be familiar with its particular challenges. After measuring skills and resources against Dagothar's defenses, the Nerevarine will know better how to pace a campaign, alternating raids with improving skills, getting better equipment, and stockpiling resources. Phase 2. Raids upon Ash Vampire Citadels. Dagothar's kin have become markedly more powerful in recent decades after remaining stable for thousands of years. They can be individually isolated and destroyed. They will not be able to support Dagothar in later stages of the war. It may also be that the dramatic increase in their power came from items enchanted by Dagoth-Ur. Salvage of such items might contribute to our resources. Phase 3. Assault on Gate Citadel Veminal. Essential to recover the artifact hammer Sunder for Phase 5. The Ash Vampire Dagoth Vemin has possession of Sunder and probably seeks to discover the secrets of its enchantments. He may also have access to notebooks and journals of Kagrenak that have survived in the Dwemer workshops of Veminal. Phase 4. Assault on Gate Citadel Odrasal. Essential to recover the artifact blade Keening for Phase 5. The Ash Vampire Dagoth Odros has possession of Keening, and probably seeks to discover the secrets of its enchantments. He may also have access to notebooks and journals of Kagrenak that have survived in the Dwemer workshops of Odrasal. Phase 5. Assault on Citadel Dagoth. All the previous stages are preparations for this stage. Recent expeditions show that Citadel Dagoth has undergone extensive expansion. The location will need to be explored carefully. The known route to the Heart Chamber will be well defended. Alternative routes may exist. Dagothar will have anticipated our plan to destroy him by attacking the Heart, and he will almost certainly personally oppose the approach to the Heart Chamber. Together the Tribunal could not defeat him, and he has grown stronger since then. Admittedly, the Tribunal had the distraction of maintaining the Ghost Fence simultaneously with fighting Dagothar, but even so, the challenge seems daunting. The adoption of this phased campaign seems to offer the best chance for success. In retrospect, the Tribunal's decision to directly assault Citadel Dagoth, rather than proceed step by step through lesser objectives, must be seen to have been a serious error. The Tribunal did not feel it had the option of a slow-paced and deliberate campaign, given that they had many other competing priorities, not the least of which was the maintenance of the Ghost Fence and the outer defenses surrounding Red Mountain. The Nerevarine, on the other hand, should be best served by a careful step-by-step advance, with the additional advantage of building confidence along the way, while successes would undermine Dagothar's own assurance in his defenses. Employing Kagrenak's tools against Dagothar. The source of Dagothar's supernatural power is the heart of Lorkhan. The heart is also the source of the Tribunal's divine powers. During mythic times, the gods took and hid Lorkhan's heart beneath Red Mountain as a punishment for creating the mortal plane. The Dwemer discovered the heart while building underground colonies. High Craft Lord Kagranak created enchanted tools intended to tap the power of the heart. The War of the First Council was fought to prevent this sacrilege. Kagranak's use of these tools and the disappearance of the Dwemer race marked the end of the war. Kagranak's tools were recovered by Lord Nerevar and Dagoth-Ur. Dagoth-Ur was left to guard the tools while Nerevar came to consult with us, his advisors. In Nerevar's absence, Dagoth-Ur experimented with the tools upon the heart and was corrupted. We returned to discover a deranged Dagoth-Ur who refused to turn over the tools. When he attacked us, we drove him away. We left Red Mountain with the tools, and subsequently Sothosil discovered their secrets. Collectively, we used the tools to establish a connection with the heart, enabling ourselves to transform our mortal natures. Thus we became the Tribunal. Dagoth-Ur had survived our attacks, and without the tools in a manner not well understood, Dagoth-Ur also managed to establish a connection with the heart and to transform himself into an immortal being. Our plan to destroy Dagoth-Ur also runs the risk of destroying the Tribunal. The plan is to permanently disrupt Kagranak's enchantments upon the heart, severing connection with Dagoth-Ur and ourselves, and rendering us all, once again, mortal. A mortal Dagoth-Ur may then be destroyed by mundane means. The loss of godhood and the possible death of the Tribunal are judged a necessary risk and sacrifice. The normal procedure for establishing a connection with the heart is a three-step process. The wearer of Wraithguard strikes the heart with the hammer Sunder, causing the heart to produce a pure tone. Then the wearer of Wraithguard strikes the heart with the blade Keening, shattering the pure tone into a prism of tone shades. These tone shades are then imprinted upon the substance of the wearer of Wraithguard, giving him an immortal and divine nature. The Nerevarine will not be taught the secret rituals required to perform the third step. Instead, Nerevarine will strike the heart with Keening for a second time, causing its tones to diverge into unstable patterns of interference. Further, repeated strikes with Keening will further disrupt the tones, with the ultimate result of shattering and dispelling Kagranak's original enchantments binding the heart, thereby severing the heart's links with Dagoth-Ur, with any surviving heart wights, and with the Tribunal. Destroying Kagranak's enchantments on the heart will also stop the corrupt diffusion of the heart's divine power, and end the blight on Morrowind. The Nerevarine may be tempted to steal the power of the heart. Dagoth-Ur and Sothosil alone know this secret. Dagoth-Ur may, in the extremity, propose to teach the Nerevarine to use Kagranak's tools to become a god. We doubt that the Nerevarine is fool enough to trust Dagoth-Ur, and are content to take this risk. Be warned, the Nerevarine cannot safely equip either Keening or Sunder unless wearing Wraithguard. The Nerevarine will be injured every moment while holding either of these artifacts unless protected by Wraithguard. Persistence will be rewarded with death. If the Nerevarine can equip an item while not wearing Wraithguard and receive no injury, the item is a counterfeit. One last note. Dagoth-Ur must not get hold of Wraithguard. Nerevarine must prepare and use a recall or Almsevi intervention if there's any risk of death or capture. The element of surprise. Dagoth-Ur will not expect you to destroy Kagranak's enchantments on the heart. He does not know it's possible. He would not do it himself, and he knows we've never tried it. He will not believe anyone would want to sacrifice the promise of such power. Further, advancement in House Dagoth, as in all great houses, is by challenge and confrontation within the hierarchy. The Nerevarine's challenges and defeats of ash vampires and battles with the Sixth House will be viewed in that light. Dagoth-Ur and his kin may assume the Nerevarine's ambition is to control the heart. Given that assumption, it is only reasonable that the Nerevarine would try to defeat each of Dagoth-Ur's subordinates in turn, working up to Dagoth-Ur. If the Nerevarine can defeat Dagoth-Ur and control the heart, so much the better. But logically, the Nerevarine would wish to rise as high in the hierarchy as possible before cutting a deal with the head of the house. Dagoth-Ur should try to recruit the Nerevarine into House Dagoth. It may be possible to pretend to join him and then betray him. However, any attempt to deceive him will be very risky. House Dagoth has a tradition of subterfuge and treachery, and because he is a deceiver, you will expect deception. Closing remarks. We place no compulsion on the Nerevarine to adhere to the plans described here. We believe that they offer the best chance of destroying Dagoth Ur, but we've also chosen to place our trust in the Nerevarines' judgment and skill. Frankly, we see no alternative. If there are doubts and questions, speak with Vivec. He has agreed to serve as the Nerevarines' guide and counselor for the campaign. It may be that if the Nerevarine succeeds, the tribunal will not survive. Such sentiments as might have been expressed to the tribunal should, in that case, be addressed to the land and people of Morrowind. May the happy convergence of fortune and prayer meet in our destiny. On behalf of Lady Almalexia and Lord Solthis, Vivec. Okay, these are not marked steel, so she is going to take them. So, something out of that also. It is written by Vivec. Since he is deceiver, his plan will be to deceive. And that is true of Vivec as well. She's not going to know the truth or lie in anything in this deceptively beautiful place from a deceptively charming god. He has spoken some truth, but she may not know which ones it is. She doesn't know if she's being sent to her death as a martyr. But she's signed up for that before. The Battle of Red Mountain. The rise and fall of the tribunal. Following is a transcript of the words of Lord Vivec addressed to a dissident priest, Malur Omain, who confronted Vivec with the Ashlander tradition surrounding the Battle of Red Mountain, with prophecies of the Nerevarine, and to unnamed magistrates of the Inquisition who joined Vivec in interrogating the dissident priest. Who can clearly recall the events of the distant past? But you have asked me to tell you, in my own words, the events surrounding the Battle of Red Mountain, the birth of the tribunal, the prophecies of a Nerevar reborn. Here's what I can tell you. When the Chimer first abandoned the herds and tents of their nomadic ancestors and built the first great houses, we loved the Daedra and worshipped them as gods. But our brethren, the Dwemer, scorned the Daedra and mocked our foolish rituals, and preferred, instead, their gods of reason and logic. So the Chimer and Dwemer were always at bitter war, until the Nords came and invaded Resdain. Only then did the Chimer and Dwemer put away their strife and join together to cast out the invaders. Once the Nords were driven out, General Nerevar of the Chimer and General Dumac of the Dwemer, who had come to love and respect one another, resolved to make peace between their peoples. In that time I was but a junior counselor to Nerevar, and Nerevar's queen, Almalexia, and his other favorite counselor, Solthis, always doubted that such a peace might long survive, given the bitter disputes between Chimer and Dwemer. But by negotiation and compromise, Nerevar and Dumac somehow managed to preserve a fragile peace. But when Dagoth Ur, Lord of House Dagoth, and trusted as a friend by both Nerevar and the Dwemer, brought us proof that High Engineer Kagrenak of the Dwemer had discovered the heart of Lorkhan, and that he had learned how to tap its powers and was building a new god, a mockery of Chimer faith and a fearsome weapon, we all urged Nerevar to make war on the dwarves and to destroy this threat to Chimer beliefs and security. Nerevar was troubled. He went to Dumac and asked if what Dagoth Ur said was true. Kagrenak took great offense and asked whom Nerevar thought he was, that he might presume to judge the affairs of the Dwemer. Nerevar was further troubled, and made pilgrimage to Holamayan, the sacred temple of Azura, and Azura confirmed that all that Dagoth Ur said was indeed true, and that the creation of a new god of the Dwemer should be prevented at all costs. When Nerevar came back and told us what the goddess had said, we felt our judgments confirmed and again counseled him to war, chiding Nerevar for his naive trust in friendship and reminding Nerevar of his duty to protect the faith and security of the Chimer against the impiety and dangerous ambition of the Dwemer. Then Nerevar went back to Vardenfell one last time, hoping that negotiations and compromise might once again preserve the peace, but this time the friends Nerevar and Dumac quarreled bitterly, and as a result, Chimer and Dwemer went to war. Dwemer were well defended by their fortress at Red Mountain. Nerevar's cunning drew most of Dumac's armies out into the field and pinned them there, while Nerevar, Dagothr, and a small group of companions could make their way into the heart chamber by secret means. There, Nerevar the Chimer King met Dumac the Dwarf King, and they both collapsed from grievous wounds and draining magics. With Dumac fallen, and threatened by Dagothr and others, Kagrenac turned his tools upon the heart, and Nerevar said he saw Kagrenac and all his Dwemer companions at once disappear from the world. In that instant, Dwemer, everywhere, disappeared without a trace. But Kagrenac's tools remained, and Dagothr seized them, and he carried them to Nerevar, saying, "That fool Kagrenac has destroyed his own people with these things. We should destroy them right away, lest they fall into the wrong hands." And Nerevar was resolved to confer with his queen and his generals, who had foreseen that this war would come, and whose counsel he would not ignore again. "I will ask the tribunal what we shall do with them, for they have had wisdom in the past that I have not. Stay here, loyal Dagothr, until I return." So Nerevar told Dagothr to protect the tools in the heart chamber until he returned. Then Nerevar was carried to us, where we waited on the slopes of Red Mountain, and he told us all that had transpired under Red Mountain. What Nerevar had said was that the Dwemer had used special tools to turn their people into immortals, and that the heart of Lorkhan held wondrous powers. Only later did we hear from others present that Dagothr had thought the Dwemer destroyed, not made immortal, and no one knows for sure what really happened there. After hearing Nerevar, we gave our counsel as he requested, proposing we should preserve these tools and trust for the welfare of the Chimer people. And who knows, perhaps the Dwemer are not gone forever, merely transported to some distant realm, from which they may someday return to threaten our security once again. Therefore, we need to keep these tools, to study them and their principles, so that we may be safe in future generations. And though Nerevar voiced his grave misgivings, he was willing to be ruled by our council, under one condition, that we all together should swear a solemn oath upon Azura that the tools would never be used in the profane manner that the Dwemer had intended. We all readily agreed and swore solemn oaths at Nerevar's dictation. So then we went with Nerevar back to Red Mountain and met with Dagothr. Dagothr refused to deliver the tools to us, saying they were dangerous, and we could not touch them. Dagothr seemed to be irrational, insisting that only he could be trusted with these tools. And then we guessed that he had somehow been affected by the handling of the tools, but now I feel sure that he had privately learned the power of the tools, and had in some confused way decided he must have them for himself. Then Nerevar and our guard resorted to force to secure the tools. Somehow Dagothr and his retainers escaped, but we gained the tools and delivered them to Sothasil for study and safekeeping. For some years we kept the oaths we swore to Azura with Nerevar, but during that time, in secret, Sothasil must have studied the tools and divined their mysteries, and at last he came to us with a vision of a new world of peace, with justice and honor for nobles, and health and prosperity for the commoners, with the tribunal as immortal patrons and guides. And dedicating ourselves to this vision of a better world, we made a pilgrimage to Red Mountain and transformed ourselves with the power of Kagrenac's tools. And no sooner than we had completed our rituals and begun to discover our newfound powers, the Daedra Lord Azura appeared and cursed us for our forsworn oaths. By her powers of prophecy, she assured us that her champion, Nerevar, true to his oath, would return to punish us for our perfidy, and to make sure such profane knowledge might never again be used to mock and defy the will of the gods. But Sothasil said to her, "The old gods are cruel and arbitrary and distant from the hopes and fears of Mer. Your age is past. We are the new gods, born of the flesh and wise and caring of the needs of our people. Spare us your threats and chiding, inconstant spirit. We are bold and fresh, and we will not fear you." And then, in that moment, all Chimer were changed into Dunmer, and our skins turned ashen and our eyes into fire. Of course, we only knew at that time that this had happened to us, but Azura said, "This is not my act, but your act. You have chosen your fate, and the fate of your people, and all the Dunmer shall share your fate, from now to the end of time. You think yourselves gods, but you are blind, and all is darkness. So, part of what she had determined is true. Azura says, this is not my act, but your act. She had thought that the moment of creation, the moment of use, the moment of intention causes something to happen. So they chose to be the leader of the Chimer, and they tied them to Red Mountain. The ash of the skin and the eyes of fire. So it is from Sothasil's declaration, his first use of his power. And Azura left us alone in darkness, and we were all afraid. But we put on brave faces and went forth from Red Mountain to build the new world of our dreams. And the new world we shaped was glorious and generous, and the worship of the Dunmer fervent and grateful. The Dunmer were at first afraid of their new faces, but Sothasil spoke to them, saying that it was not a curse, but a blessing, a sign of their changed natures, a sign of the special favor they might enjoy as new Mer, no longer barbarians trembling before ghosts and spirits, but civilized Mer, speaking directly to their immortal friends and patrons, the three faces of the tribunal. And we were all inspired by Sothasil's speech and vision, and took heart. And over time we crafted the customs and institutions of a just and honorable society, and the land of Resdayn knew millennia of peace, equity, and prosperity, unknown to other savage races. But beneath Red Mountain, Dagoth had survived, and even as the light of our bold new world shined ever more brightly, beneath Red Mountain, the darkness gathered, a darkness that was close kin to the bright light that Sothasil coaxed from the heart of Lorkhan with the tools of Kagrenac. As the darkness grew, we fought it, and crafted walls to confine it, but we never could destroy it. For the source of the darkness was the same source as our source of our own divine inspiration. And in these latter days of Morrowind, reduced to a subjugated province of the Western Empire, as the glory of the temple fades, and the dark tide rises from Red Mountain, we are reminded of Azura and her promised champion's return. We have waited, blind and in darkness, mere shadows, drained of our ardent vision, in shame of our folly, in fear of our judgment, and in hope of our deliverance. We do not know if the outlander claiming to fulfill the prophecies of the Nerevarine is our old companion, Nerevar reborn, or a pawn of the Emperor, or a cat's paw of Azura, or some simple twist of fate. But we insist you adhere to temple doctrine, and conform to the stricture dividing the hieroglypha from the apocrypha, and that you not speak that which must not be spoken openly. Act as a dutiful priest should, in accordance with your vows of obedience to the canons and archcanons, and all will be forgiven. Defy me, and you will know what it is to stand against a god. Vivec. So she truly believes that he wants to win. That's all that's left to him. As he said, all that matters now is that he does not lose. And by... Yeah, she's gonna eat in the temple. It's been a very long day. She's still mortal, and she's going to enjoy that. She has tea, and he hasn't enjoyed drinking tea or having mushrooms in a very long time. Uh-oh. She just drank suspicious water. Okay, she's mortal. I believe we mentioned this. She now appreciates her choice. Dagothar's plans. Following documents were prepared by temple scholars and agents of the Inquisition for Lord Vivec. From the interrogation of captured sleepers and other Sixth House cultists, from the study of manuscripts written by cultists and victims of dream-induced mania, from interviews with Lord Vivec concerning historical campaigns against Red Mountain, and from the broad conjectures and inferences made upon these materials, this is our best estimate of Dagoth Ur's motivations and objectives in this most recent phase of his war upon Morrowind. Basic objectives. Establish a theocracy in Morrowind based on the worship of the newborn god Okulakan, second Numidium, to be created by Dagoth from the heart of Lorkhan, and a body constructed according to the principles and rituals pioneered by the Dwemer Kagrenak. Establish the ancient heirs of House Dagoth as the god priests of Okulakan, and the sixth house of Dagoth as the dominant political power in Morrowind. Through charismatic conversation, unite the Dunmer under the guidance of Dagoth to battle against the foreign animals who hold Morrowind in subjugation. Note, Dagoth has apparently adopted the views and motivations of the Dwemer High Craft Lord Kagrenak. In effect, he recapitulates the ancient blasphemous folly of the Dwemer. 2. Expose the false worship of the tribunal and destroy the ecclesiastical authority and political power of the temple. How much the dissident priests of the cult of the Nerevarine may be controlled or influenced by the Sixth House in this regard is open to speculation. Extirpate all remaining individuals of inferior and mongrel race from Morrowind. Drive the Empire from Morrowind. Recover ancient territories stolen by Skyrim and Argonia. Extend the worship of Okulakan to all nations of Tamriel through subversion and conquest. Plans to establish and expand the Sixth House. Phase 1. Secure Red Mountain against tribunal intruders. Deny tribunal access to the heart, weakening the temple while securing Red Mountain for the creation of Okulakan. Keep the construction of Second Numidium a secret. Phase 2. Create passive servants in ever-widening circles around Red Mountain by broadcasting compulsions couched in dream imagery to susceptible subjects in their sleep. Establish a major operational base at Kogorun for further operations in the Ash Wastes. Establish smaller bases near small port villages and in lower-class waterfront districts in Vivec. Infiltrate and subvert smuggling syndicates. Recruit willing followers from disaffected populations, including the underworld, the poor, and rabid anti-imperial activists. Phase 2. Expand from smaller bases to other towns and villages, and recruit and indoctrinate subjects made susceptible by dream sendings. Occupy abandoned towers and ruins, and train corrupted cultists as raiders and irregular troops. Identify, discredit, and decimate possible sources of political resistance. Phase 4. Use assassination and terror to weaken, distract, and disrupt the legions and the imperial bureaucracy, along with their Hlaalu sympathizers. Inspire popular uprisings of the native poor against the foreign rich and powerful. Summon sleepers and dreamers to Dagoth to work on Second Numidium. Inferring Dagoth perspective. Dagoth thinks on a large time scale, for the most part, in the outside of time scale of the divine consciousness. He thinks that only obstacles of mythic scale are worth consideration. He believes he is fated to rule Morrowind, to free Morrowind of the Empire, and to become the new hard-loving father of Morrowind. Given that perspective, the only opposing forces Dagoth worries about are the Tribunal, the Daedra, the Emperor, and the Incarnate. With the Tribunal's loss of Sunder and Keening, and with the diminishing resources of Vivec, Almalexia, and Sotha Sil, Dagoth believes he has permanently gained a decisive strategic advantage. On a mortal timescale, battle may last for centuries, but the outcome is not in doubt, and Okulakan may be a device for dramatically reducing the timescale for a decisive victory. The myth of dynamic invincibility of the Emperor and the Empire has long been an unquantifiable and intimidating threat, but recent rumors of unrest in Cyrodiil, of the Emperor's failing health, and the unsettled question of the succession have diminished the scale of that threat. Nonetheless, the revelation that the Nerevarine is a pawn of Imperial intelligence, hand-picked and sent to Morrowind by the Emperor himself, may cause Dagoth considerable anxiety. The Daedra represent no coherent obstacles to Dagoth. Nonetheless, their personal abilities and their influence upon their fanatic followers is considerable, their motives and actions obscure, and Dagoth remains concerned about them. The Incarnate represents Saint Nerevar, a mythic force that has previously defeated Dagoth, and Dagoth is obsessed with this threat. At the same time, Dagoth knew Nerevar personally, and knew that he was a mortal man with faults and weaknesses. Of course, yeah. Mortal Mur. Dagothar may have some hope of seducing or negotiating with Nerevar's reincarnation. Further, when Nerevar and the Tribunal defeated Dagothar, they were strong and allied. Now the Nerevarine and the Tribunal are weak, opposed, and divided. Therefore, though the Nerevarine and the Tribunal represent the most serious threat to Dagothar's plans, he still has good reason to believe that this time he will prevail. A recent timescale of Dagothar's activities. Much of the following timescale is based on inference from incomplete information. 42E882. Dagothar and his kin lie dreaming beneath the sills of Red Mountain. 2E882. Dagothar and his ash vampires awake refreshed and emerge from lower Red Mountain into the Heart Chamber. Dagothar ritually binds himself and his brethren as heart whites in a ritual of his own devising. The first stages of construction of Second Numidium, conceived during the long sleep, are begun by heart whites and Atronach constructs in a chamber near the heart of Lorcan. Keeping the Second Numidium project a secret from the Tribunal is a high priority. 2E882. The Tribunal arrive at Red Mountain for their annual ritual bathing in the Heart's power. Dagothar and ash vampires ambush the Tribunal. The Tribunes are driven away and prevented from restoring themselves with Kagranak's tools at the heart of Lorcan. So they had to go back every year to do this ritual. Interesting. 2E882, 3E417. Intermittent Tribunal campaigns assault Red Mountain. The Tribunal and supporting forces seek to force access to the Heart Chamber, but are repeatedly driven back. Dagothar recruits sleepers and dreamers through dream sendings. Cultists are recruited through dream compulsion. Weaker cultists become corpus beasts. Stronger cultists advance through stages toward the powers of the ascended sleepers. 4E400. Gogorun was reoccupied by Dagoth Uthal and fortified as an advanced base for Sixth House operations. Blight storms more frequent and widespread. Soul sickness spreads in regions close to Red Mountain. 3E410. Sixth House bases found near Narmok and in waterfront areas of Vivec. Sixth House operatives exploit smuggler organizations and communications to spread their influence among victims unbalanced by Dagothar's dream sendings. 3E415. Small cells of Sixth House cultists in every town in Vardenfell. Larger Sixth House operations are concealed in remote dungeons where creatures are bred and cultists are trained for the coming struggle. 3E417. Amalexia and Sothisil lose the artifacts Keening and Sunder to Dagoth, Audros, and Vemin. Vivec rescues Amalexia and Sothisil, but failing to recover Keening and Sunder, Tribunal retreat from Red Mountain in disorder. Surviving buoyant Armiger companions know the Tribunal was forced to retreat, but do not know how serious the reversal the Tribunal has suffered. The three Tribunes return to their respective capitals and continue to perform their ritual functions. The Tribunes continue to grow weaker without access to the heart, and because of resources required to support the Ghost Fence, the inner circle of the Temple priesthood has begun to suspect Tribunes have suffered seriously from wounds and demoralization in the wake of reverses at Red Mountain, but do not recognize the scale of the problem. 4E 426 427. Campaigns of Sixth House assassination of prominent Imperial citizens and Hlaalu Imperial sympathizers. A sudden increase in the number and seriousness of attacks by cultists and victims deranged by soul sickness. Noted with concern. Dagothar can apparently perceive and communicate directly through his cultists. Sleepers and dreamers are often reported speaking as though with Dagothar's voice and intention. Little is known about the features, scale, or stage of completion of Akulakan, Second Numidium. No one has gained entrance to the Heart Chamber since 2E282 and 3E417. Keening and Sunder were captured and may substantially aid in Akulakan's construction. Nerevar at Red Mountain. Following is from the Apocrypha, the hidden writings of the Tribunal Temple. Oh, okay. Yes, We've already read this. So this is the Ashlanders. Oh, let's read it again. I will read it again in new context. Because he said he gave his own account and the Ashlander account, and he didn't care which one I believe, which is a very manipulative statement because of course he cares. This person cares very much, but that is a weakness in his opinion, so he's going to conceal it with Vivec bullshit. Nerevar at Red Mountain. Following is from the Apocrypha, the hidden writings of the Tribunal Temple. It is the scholarly retelling of a tradition transmitted through the Ashlanders concerning the battle at Red Mountain and subsequent events. The Ashlanders associate this tale with the telling of Alandra Sul, a shield companion of Nerevar, who came to live among the Ashlanders after the death of Nerevar and during the ascension of the Tribunal. There are many variant treatments of this story. The primary elements are consistent throughout the tradition. The murder of Nerevar, the tragic fate of Dagoth-Ur, and the profane source of the Tribunal's divine power are denied by Temple doctrine as ignorant Ashlander superstition, and not widely known among the civilized Dunmer. Resdayn, present-day Morrowind, was contested ground between two very different types of Mer. Khymer, who worshipped Daedra, and the Dwemer, who worshipped a profane and secret power. These two people warred with each other constantly until their lands were invaded by a young, vibrant, and violent alien culture, the Nords. Two heroes, one from the Khymer and one from the Dwemer, Indoril Nerevar and Dumak Dwarf Orc, made peace between their people and together ousted the alien invaders. And these two heroes worked long and hard to maintain that peace thereafter, though their counselors thought it could not last, or worse, that it shouldn't. Nerevar's queen and his generals, Almalexius, Sothasil, Vivec, told him to claim all Resdayn for his own. Nerevar would not listen, for he remembered his friendship with Dumak. There would be only peace. Until Dagoth-Ur arrived, House Dagoth had discovered the source of the profane and secret power of the Dwemer, the legendary heart of Lorkhan, which Dumak's people had used to make themselves immortal and beyond the measure of the gods. In fact, one of their high priests, Kagrenak, was building a new god so that the Dwemer could claim Resdayn for their own. The tribunal urged Nerevar again to make war on the dwarves. Nerevar was troubled. He went to Dumak, his friend of old, and asked if what Dagoth-Ur said was true. Kagrenak and the high priest of the Dwemer had kept their new god secret from their king, and Dumak said the Dwemer were innocent of any wrongdoing. Nerevar was troubled again and made pilgrimage to Holamayan, the sacred temple of Azura, who confirmed that all that Dagoth-Ur said was indeed true, and that the new god of the Dwemer should be destroyed for the safety of not only Resdayn, but for the whole world. When Nerevar went back and told his tribunal what the goddess had said, his queen and generals felt themselves proved right, and again counseled him to war. There were reasons that the Dwemer and Khymer had hated each other forever. Finally, Nerevar, angered that his friend Dumak would lie to him, went back to Vardenfell. This time the Khymer king was arrayed in arms and armor, and had his hosts around him, and he spoke harshly to Dumak Dwarf Orc, king of Red Mountain. You must give... Why is his name Dwarf Orc, by the way? You must give up your worship of the heart of Lorkhan, or I shall forget our friendship and the deeds that were accomplished in its name. And Dumak, who still knew nothing of Kagrenak's new god, but proud and protective of his people, said, We shall not relinquish that which has been our way for years beyond reckoning, just as the Khymer will not relinquish their ties to the lord and ladies of Oblivion. And to come at my door in this way, arrayed in arms and armor, and with your hosts around you, tells me you have already forgotten our friendship. Stand down, my sweet Nerevar, or I swear, by the 15 and 1 golden tones, I shall kill you and all your people. And so the Khymer and Dwemer went to war. The Dwemer were well defended by their fortress at Red Mountain, but the bravery and cleverness of Nerevar's queen and generals drew most of Dumak's armies out into the field, and kept them there, so that Nerevar and Dagoth-Ur could make their way into the heart chamber by secret means. There Nerevar met Dumak the Dwarf King, and they both fell from grievous wounds. Dagoth-Ur slew Kagrenak, and took the tools of Dwemer used to tap the power of the heart. Okay, so that's what differs. Dagothur says Kagranak used the tools and everybody disappeared, which should have included Kagranak. So this person... Okay, that doesn't make any sense, but okay. Dagothur slew Kagranak and took the tools the Dwemer used to tap the power of the heart. He went to his dying lord Nerevar and asked him what to do with these tools. And Nerevar summoned Azura again, and she showed them how to use the tools to separate the power of the heart from the Dwemer people. Why would she do that? And on the fields, the tribunal and their armies watched as the Dwemer turned into dust all around them as their stolen immortality was taken away. Oh, okay. Oh, well then. That's interesting. So Vivec says nobody knows what happens, but this says Nerevar under Azura's guidance is the one that made them all disappear. Ooh. Back in Red Mountain, Nerevar told Dagothur to protect the tools and the heart chamber until he returned. Dagothur said, but shouldn't we destroy these tools at once so that they might never be used for evil again? But Nerevar was confused by his wounds and his sorrow, for he still loved Dumak and the Dwemer people, and so went to the fields outside the Red Mountain to confer with his queen and his generals, who had foreseen that this war would come, and whose counsel he would not ignore again. So, yeah, Almalexia has the gift of prophecy. I will ask the tribunal what we shall do with them, for they have had wisdom in the past that I had not. Stay here, loyal Dagothur, until I return. Then Nerevar told his queen and generals all that had transpired under Red Mountain, and how the Dwemer had used special tools to turn their people into immortals, and of the wondrous power of the heart of Lorkhan. Okay. So, according to this, the order of events is Kagranak used the tools on the heart, then Dagothur slew Kagranak, and then Azura told Nerevar how to separate them from the heart, which made them all go poof to dust. The tribunal decided that the Chimer should learn how to use this power so that Nerevar might claim Resdain and the world for their people. Nerevar did not expect or want this, so he asked his queen and generals to help him summon Azura yet again for her guidance. But the tribunal had become as greedy as Kagranak upon hearing of the power of the heart. They coveted it. They made ritual as if to summon Azura as Nerevar wanted, but Almalexia used poisoned candles, and Sothisil used poisoned robes, and Vivec used poisoned invocations. Nerevar was murdered. Azura came forth anyway and cursed the tribunal for their foul deeds. She told them that she would use her powers over dusk and dawn to make sure Nerevar would come back and make things right again. But the tribunal laughed at her and said that soon they would be gods themselves, and that the Chimer people would forget their old ways of worship. And Azura knew this would be true, and that it would take a long time before her power might bring Nerevar back. What you have done here today is foul beyond measure, and you will grow to regret it. For the lives of gods are not what mortals think, and matters that weigh only years to mortals weigh on gods forever. And so that they might know forever their wicked deeds, Azura changed the Chimer into Dunmer, and their skin turned ashen, and their eyes into fire. Let this mark remind you of your true selves, who, like ghouls, fed on the nobility, heroism, and trust of their king. And then the tribunal went into Red Mountain and met with Dagothur. Dagothur saw what had been done, for his skin had changed as well, and he tried to avenge the death of Nerevar, but to no avail. He was driven off and thought dead. The tribunal found the tools he'd been guarding, and through study of Kagranak's methods, turned themselves into gods. Thousands of years after their apotheosis, the tribunal are still the gods of Morrowind, and the old ways of worship are remembered only by a few, and the murder of Nerevar is known to fewer. But his queen and generals still fear his return. The words of Azura linger long, and they see the mark of her curse on their people every day. She takes a moment. She doesn't turn back. She looks at the empty bookstand. It was very helpful to read this. It was not the crazy that she had seen. Vivec, right now, is not crazy. She's grateful for that. Now, the only thing that concerns her about the Ashlander version is why? How would this person know that the tribunal used poisoned candles or poisoned robes? Because how would they leave a witness alive? At the moment, they're smart. They're not crazy yet. How would he know any of that? I mean, he would have to have been in the room, and they would have to. I mean, this is a very rarefied and special room to be in. If he was there, they wouldn't allow him to witness murder and live. They just murdered. Alexia murdered her husband. You think they would have any trouble murdering just one more person who might tattle? And she does believe that the fate of the Chimer was brought about by the gods, not Azura. So she believes a bit more of Vivec's story, but not enough to have any faith. She has no faith in this place or the person. Just looking at the art. It is beautiful. So he has nothing more to say, does not say goodbye. She imagines being a god can be terribly boring. She'd rather have her tea and her mushrooms. She's going home. She turns her back on him. She accepts the books. See if there's anything over here. But she thinks she read everything. She's going to double check. Yep, she has read the books prepared for her. She's heard everything she needs to hear. And it's a beautiful day. In a beautiful city. She sees this horrible stone that Vivec could have obliterated. But he kept it here so the people would be afraid. And that's what she needs to remember. She doesn't want to pray. She wants to say hello to her little baby. She didn't get to see because she was being hunted. Yes, she was. She tells them all about it. Well, some about it. Because she's very tired. But she loves her baby sea drake so much. I'm gonna do this for you, honey, so you're safe forever. Okay? She's very tired, but satisfied. She got the answers to quite a few questions. And the ones she doesn't know, they don't really matter anymore. What the gods did, they did thousands of years ago. And she believes they have learned to regret it. She believes Vivec when he says that. What she does know is that these plans they are precious. They are a gift. She does believe that what she was just given is the gift of knowledge. And she's going to hold on to it. She was going to put them away, and then she realized Vivec said, commit them to memory. So she's going to need to study and reread as she contemplates what it is she next needs to do. So her hand pauses in putting them away. And she decides she's going to carry them.
You'll die screaming!
Dark Brotherhood attacks. Okay, so we're starting we are beginning Tribunal. And thankfully, it killed itself. She just call it it. She doesn't care. She is so tired. She is so tired.
Life is an illusion!
Oh my god. Yep. This is our life now. And she just brandished. She just brandished a lockpick in her sleep. Okay. This aspect of the game is ridiculous. We're gonna try again. Okay. Whatever that was about. She goes here and have it because she's used to it, and then she remembers. Right now, she just prays to the tiny sea drake. She's not even. I mean, she's been kidnapped by werewolves. These ridiculous assassins just ran straight into her and died. She has another giggle fit. She gets down on the rug so that she's closer to Ivy, to her tiny sea drake, and tells it the story about how stupid people are. And she imagines the tiny sea drake agrees. And now she's gonna go save the world. Or at least some of it. Some part of it. Or she's gonna die. You know, one or the other. But you, my dear sea drake, you're gonna be always and forever safe. She paid a lot of money to make sure of that, and Mommy is rich. Love you.